I've spent a lot of this year not uploading. Instead, I've been working on something. Something big. Something that is on schedule for a summer release. More on that next year. But with this year coming to a close, I thought I'd come back and finish the year in the same way that I started it. By shitting on the right wing. The person we're going to be looking into today has been on my radar for quite some time. Since Series 14 of Doctor Who, this guy's been actively shitting on the show and calling it woke, without any proper knowledge of what that word means. As we've learned in the past, woke means to be aware of social and or racial injustices. Talking of Doctor Who, since I last uploaded, an entire season aired and a spin-off began. I've slowly been working on a video about Season 15 for a while, and we'll be talking about the war between the land and the sea in this video, but we'll be making a proper video once it's all aired. With all of that being said, let's get into it for one last time in 2025. It's the Let's Shit on the Right Wing Show! The video we're going to be looking into today is titled Why is Everyone Hating the New Doctor Who Spin-Off by a YouTuber named John Del Arroz. And first of all, I'd just like to say how much of the opposite I've been hearing. Looking on TikTok and watching reactions, I've received the opposite vibe. I love the opening 2 episodes personally, and I'm looking forward to more. The consensus overall seems to be more positive in regards to the fandom. I'm unsure if everyone, to John, is his circle of hate or he genuinely didn't research more than the articles within his video. Or perhaps he only wants to talk about the facts that will push his message that he wants to portray. If you want to know what that message is, stick around to the end of the video because I'm sure it's in here somewhere.
How hard can the media shill for the woke Doctor Who spin-off, The War Between the Land and the Sea? The answer is depends on the outlet, and that's kind of how you know that this is a travesty once more. Because even if some of the media is going out there and saying this is terrible, you know that it's really, really terrible because it has to be so bad. It has to be like up to here bad for them to admit that there's anything wrong with it.
What a load of dribble. Actually, you know what? I think this woman puts it best.
What a load of oh shit!
I mean, how dare the media have a balanced view on something? I mean, that must mean it's automatically horrific. Jokes aside, critics are allowed their own opinion. Each critic is their own person. They're not a collective hive mind. They're not all thinking the same thoughts like the Dalek neural network or the Upside Down. It's natural for different outlets to have different viewpoints. GB News isn't going to portray the same things in the same light as Channel 4 News because they're two wildly different news networks. What is it even news? It's just propaganda disguised as a news station, ignoring the fact that they're completely opinionated in even more and actually more entertainment that's not even entertaining because it's just shouting. It's basically just aggressive Good Morning Britain.
Now, I'm in America, and I am not one of those people who sails the seas or anything like that. I'm waiting for Disney Plus to announce like when they're actually going to premiere this. So I've not actually seen the episode yet. I would love to review it, but they only have it available in the UK right now, which is pretty interesting that they did that. It goes to show that Disney does not have a lot of faith in the show. They are just punting it. They don't really want to deal with it.
The Disney deal is over. Thank God. But there's a very simple explanation for this that we already know. RTD and the BBC wanted to air this in time for Christmas. However, Disney didn't want it to look out of place with the more Christmassy movies and TV shows, so they elected to air it within the new year, which makes a lot of sense. Like, it's not really a Christmas show. The exact date is currently unknown at the time of me writing the script and doing this voiceover. I think it's pretty reasonable, and if you don't, then remember, you're willingly paying for Disney Plus. If you don't like it, don't watch it. I'm not forcing you. Your wife isn't forcing you. Oh, sorry, unsure if that's a touchy subject considering what went down in 2023.
My name is John Delarose. I'm a sci-fi writer, and if you like my thoughts on science fiction and the like, I hope you'll check out my book. This is The Stars Entwined. It starts a beautiful space opera series. If you like Babylon 5, if you like classic Who, I think you're going to love the vibe of this.
I do love classic Who, but I don't know if you're a good writer. But while researching for this video, I did check the overall consensus about your books on Goodreads, and the book you're advertising currently has a 3.84 star rating. Considering the average rating for a sci-fi book is between 4.0 and 4.25, I'd call that pretty decent. On your website, there's a book called Justified, the Saga of Nano Templar, which does sound pretty cool, I won't lie. And that lands at a 3.89, which also is not bad. And since Justified is the first thing on your page, and directly in my face, I'm going to look into that one. To save a world, you must rely on gods. That's literally the first line, by the way. And personally, I don't like that. Not because it has God or religion or all that stuff, but because it comes across if it's a major part of the story, a major part of progressing the story, which might be a bit, I don't know. On Goodreads, it has the Christian tag, which is fine, but is it modern day Christianity? Futuristic Christianity? Historically accurate Christianity? Like, Christianity today is going to look a whole lot different from Christianity 50 years down the line, or 100 years down the line, or 250 years down the line, and that's definitely not a line I've just stolen from my partner. But I'm not really fussed on whichever one it is. But I have the opinion that relying on a deity that exists within one faith is risky within sci-fi. Like, if you try it and fail it, it's bad. Like, it's dribble and comes across as more propaganda fuel for that said religion. And fuck it. 20 likes on this video and I'll buy and review the book.
Talking about the war between the land and the sea reveals overnight ratings, and they say it's fantastic. So what it's out to, an average of 2.82 million viewers watched the first episode, and then I guess they did a 2-episode premiere, while an average of 2.5 million tuned into the second installment. Now, this is better than Doctor Who in its second season, which is a complete disaster, but it is billed as a new show, so people just check this out as it was on. It's right during the Christmas season. This is the best time to launch things, and we're going to see a bigger drop-off than this. Obviously, people didn't watch the second one quite a bit. That's a huge drop-off there from 2.8 to 2.05 when they both released at the same time. People obviously were not impressed with this, and there's a reason why.
I'm a celebrity. Get me out of here! This is a show in the UK where a group of celebs are taken to a jungle in Australia and are basically tortured by the British public in trials. It's pretty big over here. It airs about 3 weeks. Live each night. Has been going for about 20-ish years. The night The War Between the Land and the Sea premiered, I'm a Celeb had its finale. Let's put that into perspective. It was going up against the UK's most popular live show finale, and it still almost hit 3 million. My point is, it didn't do that badly. It's also safe to say that TV ratings are nowhere near as accurate as they were 15 to 20 years ago. Most things are now being streamed, and most people wait until everything is out to binge it all at once. The picture is not as clear as you're implying it is. If you want to see how popular something is, you can't just look at one statistic and say, oh, that's the consensus, it's obvious. You have to look elsewhere. You also have to look at what people are saying online, watch videos of people talking about the show, listen to the community and take on board their feedback. If you ignore that, you're just bound to fail. More on that specific point in a future video, talking about that twist from the Series 15 finale. Stay tuned.
Now we'll see what happens when it gets into episodes 3 and 4 if people continue with this. I'm going to highly doubt it, just based on what I'm seeing.
I just wanted to cherry pick this out to reiterate the point I made earlier in the video. The overall consensus from the community is, well, from people watching it, has been positive. I've just spoken, literally just now, spoken on how producers and showrunners have to listen to the community and take everything into account when talking about the future. Otherwise, you're almost guaranteed to fail. continuously claiming that no one likes it and no one is watching it isn't going to make it true, no matter how many times you say it.
Now, this is the Daily Mail saying it's woke, repetitive, stultifyingly dull, and this Doctor Who spinoff is a travesty. 1 out of 5. Holy crap, the Daily Mail going off this hard on it means it's really, really bad.
The Daily Mail has never been a trustworthy source of information, in my opinion. It's considered to have a mixed to low reliability. For a news outlet, that's not good. I think John read this article and chose to believe that this is the only fact and no one will ever change his mind. The opinion piece he's about to read is going to fuel his opinion, not offer a balanced review or critique at all. It'll look at the negative and not mention any positive. It won't mention the great acting, it won't mention the fabulous harmony between the main cast, and it probably won't mention that the war between the land and the sea was originally meant to be a separate thing altogether. Yep, that's right, the show was in the works before RTD came back to Doctor Who. He thought it would work better within the universe, with an already established characters and lore, so they included it within. Something which I personally thought worked really well.
We've also got this one. This is inadvertently hilarious, says the Telegraph. I struggled to keep a great face during this. Okay, cool. And then, of course, we have The Guardian talking about this. Fans need something to believe in. Will the spin-off save Doctor Who? No, it's dead.
That title from the Telegraph is actually pretty accurate for the show. The War Between, I'm calling it that from now on because the title's a mouthful and I have my opinions on that, did end up getting more of a comedic tone, but it's balanced really well. I haven't read the article from the Telegraph because I still don't know if John is going to, but the title implies a pretty balanced review. Another indication that was a balance was the 3-star rating. Just slightly under your books if that fuels your ego. In regards to Doctor Who being dead, no. The BBC have issued multiple statements that they're committed to the show, and I don't blame them. It's their most successful cash cow and continues to be. We're going to get another Christmas special next year, that's 2026. Does that mean we have to wait? Yes. Does that mean RTD broke his promise of no more long waits? Yes. Am I surprised? No. I'd rather have a long wait with spin-offs in between and have high quality content than have mediocre stuff year after year after year.
First reviews praise Doctor Who spin-off series as his best work in year. Oh. You see where that's coming from. So let's look at what is being said here with the Daily Mail.
You can tell this guy's mindset just from this clip alone. He looks at one outlet, which, by the way, is considered to be a reliable source for factual reporting. However, it does have LGBT bias, which should really be looked into for a news page. All news should be reliable, unbiased, and factual. And then he laughs at it because it's known to be more left-leaning and LGBT-friendly. What a muppet. His own biases are on full display here, and he's not bothered to hide it. Anyway, next he looks into some of these articles, and well...
Wow. Help us, Doctor Who. We need you. There's a distress call to the TARDIS pleading to rescue the drippiest sci-fi slop ever to dribble onto our screens. Wow. Like I said, I wish I could just easily review this right now from America. If you have a way for it, email me. It'd be useful.
I have a way. Use a VPN. I'm pretty sure that's what everyone else has done to get access anyway. I'm not going to shit on opinions. I've grown enough to know that everyone is entitled to their own opinion, and that should be respected. With that being said, I think calling it the drippiest sci-fi slop to ever dribble out of our screens, direct quote, is a bit harsh when The Last Jedi is right there. Nothing against Star Wars, but I think Episode 8 is the worst movie. There's a list, and it's at the bottom. The War Between wasn't bad at all. It was a brilliant piece on pollution, something which it was made to be. It was made to be what it is, and it did it brilliantly. The Homo Aqua was fantastic as well, and Kirby is the best representation of a non-binary character I've seen yet. No fuss, no speech, they're just there, like non-binary people are.
Her name is Salt, and she can change sex at will. Oh, no. Oh, no. The Sea Devils are trans. Oh, no. Of course the Sea Devils are trans, everybody. And that's why we can't call them Sea Devils anymore, because we gotta use their Aqua Homo name or whatever. Homo Aqua. That's it. Yes. Oh, you can't make this stuff up.
I've spoken in someone's TikTok comments about this already, but I may as well do it here. Firstly, they're not human. Their grasp on sex and gender may be different to ours. We don't know. However, within context to the scene, it was actually very powerful. Salt can change the way she presents based on the situation. During the negotiations, she's passive and acting passive, so wants to present herself that way. To a room full of politicians and army men, like we see in the negotiation room, they would see a woman leader as weaker and therefore would underestimate her. When she changes and she presents herself more masculine, the voice dominates the room and she becomes aggressive, granting control back to the Homo Aqua. It was a superb watch, and it's an amazing bit of subtle storytelling on how the human mind will see more feminine as friendly and trustworthy, while seeing more masculine as threatening. I'll let you John off with that, because you haven't seen the show. However, I won't do the same for the article. The context was right there, and the writer didn't fucking use it.
Few centuries. The villains are capitalist businessman, probably Elon Musk, and a ranting right-wing politician, Donald Trump. The good guys are the Doctor's old chums at Units, a paramilitary agency headed by Kate Lethbridge Stewart, a woman. Oh boy.
The antagonists are humanity as a whole. That's pretty obvious from the first negotiation. We, as a society, have polluted and destroyed their home, their ecosystem, and they want us to stop. Like they said, we started the war. Now, for something I referenced to earlier in the video, was it a cheap shot? Yes. Do I care? No. First of all, Kate has been the head of units at the whole unit debacle that started back in the 50th anniversary. I wouldn't say she was head in the Power of 3, but she could have been. I'll have to check that. Regardless, your "oh boy" comment indicates what type of piece of shit you really are, doesn't it, John? Considering you're a wife beater. I mean, that's surely why she has a restraining order on you for domestic violence, as it shows in this screenshot here. The reason I'm bringing this up is to call you out on your own shithousery as a bad person. Now, I'm not perfect, but I'd never abuse someone I'm supposed to love. I could never imagine hitting my fiancée, let alone doing it enough to result in a restraining order. To finish off this segment, your comment about Elon Musk and Donald Trump was spot on. That's exactly how I describe the pair, even though they're not referenced or referred to within the show itself.
We're looking into oceanic mycelium networks, one backroom boffin announces before explaining mycelium networks are fungal threads that believed to connect individual plants and trees and share recycle vitamins and minerals, on and on. That is called exposition and info dumping for those of us that are in the professional writers. And info dumping is always boring.
Mycelium, which is how it's pronounced, or mycelium, isn't very known. Unless you play Minecraft. This bit of exposition comes across more as educational to me. I knew mycelium as a block, but I didn't know its function within the real world. Now I do, and I don't see that as a bad thing. Plus, this might have more of importance to understanding how the Homo Aqua communicate with each other. We just don't know that yet.
So this one's interesting. Struggled to keep a straight face during it because it gets so inadvertently funny as he tries to lecture. Now, there's a few things at play here that get lectured on. Obviously, like these are now transgender aliens that are out there, which is just eye-rolly just by itself because he has to insert that into everything. They're probably all gay too.
And that's what we call stereotyping! From the trailers, we know there's a hinted romance to develop between Barclay and Salt. That's already been hinted at within the first 2 episodes, but it's subtle. I've already spoken about how impactful the negotiation scenes have been so far, and how Salt took control of those negotiations. I was just curious to know how stereotyping creatures whose homes we've destroyed is evidence that everyone hates the show, since that's the point you're trying to make. And failing it.
On top of that, this is a big environmentalist message. Like, the humans are bad to the sea. They're the bad people. And it's interesting. You could see that the like LGBTQ groups, like with Russell T Davies, these angry, just hateful gay people. And that's what they are. They're angry, hateful gay people who just hate everybody being happy because they're living in a just terrible lifestyle that's not fulfilling at the end of the day. Russell T Davies needs Jesus, obviously. That's what they do, is they try to just like make you miserable across the film and make you be like, the humans are all the bad guys, the people are all the bad guys. And that just goes back to just like this weird psychological thing that they have, where it's just like they can't have heroes anymore.
Exactly as predicted! I like how he calls all LGBT people and activists angry and hateful without showing a thread of evidence to that. Again, he's stereotyping, something which is factually known to be harmful. Yeah, there are some that are positive and regarded as such, but these go from negative stereotypes to just plain rubbish. To be clear, anyone and everyone is capable of violence and hate, but grouping one group as hateful and violent just because it fits your worldview is toxic. Plus, we know who the violent one here is, don't we, John? Maybe we should ask your wife. Just stop, there's no point bringing this up again. It's interesting to see how he brings Jesus into it, how he brings Christianity into it. I personally don't believe that there's a God. I've taken a logical standpoint of, you don't know. You don't know if there's a God or how the universe was created. You just have to blindly trust in faith or blindly trust in theory. What's factual is the existence of dinosaurs. And as Capaldi so graciously put it in The Girl Who Died, gods never actually show up.
Which is why Doctor Who fails. The Doctor is not the hero of the recent Doctor Who stuff. He's running around, and his like Indian woman sidekick is actually a hero, and she starts lecturing him on what, on like the fact that she didn't give consent to be out here and the like. While he does what, he prances around like a gay dude, and that's exactly the suffering that happens across all of this.
I could have included all this within the last point, but I wanted to separate it. This man tried to portray his message of all LGBT people are hateful and miserable while being hateful and miserable. His point falls flat on his face upon his own hypocrisy. Not only that, he claims LGBT people don't believe or have heroes and uses Doctor Who as quote-unquote evidence for that. I believe in heroes. I absolutely love watching the Arrowverse. It's literally the age of heroes. I'm about to start rewatching the whole thing from Arrow Season 1 to The Flash Season 9. Every spin-off show, every crossover, all of it. And I know plenty of LGBT people who love these shows, and I don't blame them. I don't think you want to face the fact that you yourself is hateful. End of story, mate. This rant has nothing to do with the war between or the articles you've cited, but it just comes from your own hate and detest. Your words say it all.
So you can see that most of the reviews are pretty bad. Huge drop off between episode 1 and episode 2. It did start with a little better ratings than episode 1. If you're in Britain, have you seen this? Let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear from you. Wish I could, and I wish I could review it for you guys outright, because I'm sure it's a train wreck. Hit the like and subscribe button, and also check out my Stars Entwined in the description below.
Shut up! Bet you ain't getting any more free advertising on this channel. Thank you very much. I say that with a screenshot of his book, literally right there. Fuck it. Edit to me. Blur it when you get round to it. Blur it. Anyway, most of the reviews, you looked at 2 articles. You didn't even bother looking at the Telegraph or the Guardian or even Pink News. Speaking of, he actually picked an article which was after the initial reviews from the cinema preview they had for the first episode a week before. He didn't even bother getting an article talking about the show itself from one of their own critics, which is pretty damn disrespectful in my opinion. Like, if you were gonna bother dissing it and calling it shit, at least show the writers and the critics the decency, the common courtesy of showing the right article instead of citing an article that was done a week before the show actually aired for the first time publicly. And I'm assuming that you didn't show any of those because it didn't fit the narrative that you want to portray. The Radio Times was balanced, and you had your fill of negativity, and then you ignored the rest by ending your video with a rant about how much you hate LGBT people. This video has been a roller coaster. For the first time ever, we delved into a criminal. Oh my god, that's going to be the title. Thank you, 7am Brain! As ever, don't send hate over to John. It's unnecessary and just mean. And John, if you are watching this, which I doubt, I wish you the best in your career as a writer. Personally, if you're having to act as fuel for the right-wing hate, that indicates it's not really going that well. Enough cheap shots, thank you all for watching. Please do stick around because I've got some big stuff coming soon. Remember, click here and here for more videos. Links in the description for any article used within this video, as well as my own social medias. And yeah, if you want more on the project that I've been working on for the past half a year, check out my TikTok. It's all there. Link in the description, top of it. Go, 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 go. That's your next stop. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Ciao for now.